Israel's gonna really win the race. Israel's gonna really beat them in the wars. All right, that's in the numbers, okay?
And out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city.
Exactly, yeah.
And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable.
Amalek is the so-called Jewish people, okay?
And said Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever.
So yeah, he's gonna perish forever. They're like, that's why we're reading it in Obadiah. It says they shall be stubble, right? They shall be utterly obliterated. Right? They're gonna build, but the Most High is gonna throw it down. The whole Shai is gonna come from Bozrah. That there's so many Bozrahs in Edom, yes. Idumea. But there's no Middle West. Where's the Middle South? But they're so cool, isn't it? So cool.
That's in Africa, though.
Yeah, it's the horn of Africa, right? But it's not Africa, it's Israel. It's in Israel. Alright? Let's get that. Give me Joel chapter 3. Get me Zephaniah chapter 2. Zephaniah chapter 3 and 8. Zephaniah 3 and 8. Joel chapter 2.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3 and verse 8. Therefore, wait ye upon me, saith Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdom and pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger.
Exactly, all the anger. Remember all of the stuff we just read about Esau and that. Don't forget, all of that indignation is coming, yeah?
For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy.
Exactly.
For then will I turn to the people a pure language, that they may all call upon the name of Yahweh to serve him with one consent.
Yeah, so that's what's going to happen in the Middle East, they like to do, right? Alright? No.
This is the book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse 2.
Bring it out.
Also gather all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat,
Jesus, yeah?
and will plead with them for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations,
Exactly. So
and parted my land.
So that's what's biblically happening now. Alright? That's why there'll never be peace in Israel. Alright? Until the Israelites get there.
Absolutely, that's exactly what.
They're not the real ones. If they was the real ones, there wouldn't be wars there right now. That's not fitting the prophecies according to Isaiah.
That's why it looks so desolate there. Desolate now. I've said it, I've been told out there. All punishing that thing.
Yeah, give me Isaiah chapter 2. Yeah, bring it out.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 1. The words that Isaiah, the son of Amos, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of Yahweh's house shall be established.
So the mountain is talking about the government of Israel. Mountain is another way of saying government. So the government of Israel
shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above
the
the hills.
top of the other nations. Alright, so Israel's government is going to be above all governments. Alright?
And all nations shall flow unto it.
Yeah.
And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of Yahweh.
Hold it on that. Give me Zechariah chapter 8. Alright, so that's saying all nations, Zechariah 8:23. All nations are going to come. We read that earlier on with the Isaiah 45. 14 is the Egyptians and the Ethiopians. They're going to come with supplications and chains. It's the same thing here. See how everything matches up. Yeah?
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 8 and verse 23. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, in those days days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him
Take
that
hold-
is a
it's
Jew.
It's not a skirt. It's just meaning the border of our garments. Okay. We don't wear skirts. You know what I mean? Like take hold of our fringes. All right.
Saying, we will go with you,
Saying.
for we have heard that Yahweh is with you.
So yeah. read.
Verse 3, Isaiah chapter 2, verse 3 from the top. And many people shall say, or shall go and say, Come ye, let us go up to the mountains of Yahweh, to the house of Yahweh of the power of Jacob, and we will teach, and he will teach us of his ways,
Exactly.
and we will walk in his path.
Yeah.
For out of Zion shall come forth the law and the word of Yahweh from Jerusalem.
Okay. Get to the point now.
Verse 4, and he shall judge among the nation and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares.
Exactly. Oh, don't judge me. Only God can judge me. All right. It's gonna. You shall be judged. You shall be judged on that day. All right.
And there's-
you're gonna beat the plowshare. So this is not. You cannot say that in the 1948 that they went back and fulfilled this prophecy because there's still wars. You understand? There's still wars. No, that's right.
And their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation.
And I'm pretty sure that there's been how many wars after the war in Iraq, there was the war in Iran. There's been wars after that.
Neither
Since 1948, there's been quite a few wars. Vietnam War. How many wars has there been since after that? Yeah, come on. And then let's not talk about the war in so-called Africa. Yeah, all of the genocide they've been doing. Oklahoma. All right, they made a war on themselves. They bombed up their own country. How about that? Because there was so-called black people striving and building cities and economies, man.
neither shall they learn war anymore. O house of Jacob, come ye and let us walk in the light of Yahweh.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So look, they can't say that there's no wars and that's been going on. That's why we're gonna have to read woe to them that build a town with blood. Give me woe to them that build a town on blood. That's not what the Most High wants. Alright, give me Numbers chapter number 5.
This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establisheth a city by iniquity.
Woe to them people that build towns with bloods. Alright? And that's who is that? That is the Ezekiel 36. Ezekiel 30, I think it's 35. Ezekiel 35. Right, woe to them that build a town with blood and establish it with iniquity. Ezekiel 35. Yeah, go straight to the point. And verse 4.
This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 4.
Oh,
I will lay up thy city waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh thy power.
Start from 3. Let's get the understanding of this book.
This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 35 verse 3. And say unto it, thus saith Yahweh power, behold, O Mount Seir.
So you know what Mount Seir is? Alright, let's give you understanding.
this is the book of Genesis, chapter 36, verse 8. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir.
So that's again the Edomites, Esau, all right, in Mount Seir. So some people might read this and they won't know the names. That's why we got to come to like-minded brothers that know things, to use the precepts, to get understanding in the wording and the dark sayings in the Bible. Oh Mount Seir.
O Mount Seir.
Read that from the top.
Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 3. And say unto it, thus saith Yahweh power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee.
We're against Mount Seir. Ezekiel was, so are we. Alright?
And I will stretch out my hand against thee.
Exactly.
And I will make.
Moses is going to stretch out his hand, and by the hands of who? His children, Israel, yeah?
And I will make thee most desolate.
Exactly, that's why it says that in the Obadiah, that Esau is going to be stubble. Remember? Jacob and Israel, the northern kingdom, the southern kingdom, are flames and fire. Are going to be flames and fire upon them.
I will lay thy city waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the innocent, shed the blood of the children of Israel.
Because they've built, woe to them that build a city with blood. Alright? They have shed blood of the children of Israel. Read it.
By the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquities had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall preserve thee.
And blood shall preserve thee.
And pursue thee.
Alright, so now let's read it. Numbers.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 35 and verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are.
So the land is polluted in a certain way.
That's
right. This is how it gets polluted.
For blood, it devours the
The
land.
same way Cain killed Abel. The land was polluted now. Because Cain killed, that's why it says thou shalt not kill. Understand?
And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein,
The only way you can cleanse that land,
but by the blood of him that shedded it.
so the ones that was killed, bro, yeah? You understand this? The ones that was killed, their sons, yeah, have to come and kill their sons, alright? For the blood that's been shed of their fathers.
It's generational.
It's a generational thing. Because Isaiah 14, I was going to precept. Isaiah 14:21.
This is the book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse 19. Egypt shall be a desolation,
Exactly.
and Edom
You like
shall
that?
be a
You like that,
desolate
sister?
wilderness.
You like that, sister? Yeah?
The
All
truth,
right.
the truth.
Yeah?
For the violence against the children of Judah.
For the what?
For the violence against the children of Judah.
Exactly.
Because they have shed innocent blood in their land.
Exactly the same
God,
thing. Don't
that's
just think
right.
it's Esau, it's Egypt as well. It's all the nations, man. Jeremiah 30 and 16 will tell you that. Alright?
Egypt was Mizraim,
Mitzrayim is
but
Egypt.
they
It's just
changed it to Egypt because that name, Egypt, means
slavery.
slavery of condition.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30 and verse 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee.
So not just the Edomites, don't forget the Amalekites, don't forget the Egyptians. The brother read one about the Egyptians. Let's not forget Ethiopians, let's not forget the Assyrians, let's not forget the Indian, Elam. Alright?
Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured.
All of them that devoured us is going to be devoured, man. Alright? Remember we're mentioning Esau, but let's not forget the other nations as well, man. Alright?
And all thine adversaries,
And all of them are against us.
every one of them
Every-
shall go into captivity.
There will be slavery. Slavery is happening to us now. It's going to happen to the Chinese man, to the Indian man, to the African man. It's going to happen to all of them for what they've done to the children of Israel, man. To the so-called blacks, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, the Latinos, man. All right? Slavery is coming. Prepare for it. When I say pick my cotton, you better pick it fast. And come back with the weight.
That's
All
right.
When I say chop down the trees, you better chop the trees.
That's right.
All right? And the ones that we don't want you to chop, you might get chopped for chopping the wrong ones.
However,
Understand? I don't even think we want any cheese chopped. I just think we like the cheese. We like the cheese. But if we have
obviously the camera's rolling, right?
the ones, but no, there is a certain
I just
cheese.
want to say that everyone has their time. You know, we've conquered lands in the past, and obviously others had to conquer us also. But the way they did it was gruesome, you know, and they were doing it to Yahweh's people.
No, look, brother, it's Yahweh.
Yahweh. It's God's people, basically, right? So, obviously,
the Israelites, Yasha Allah.
everyone's gonna get their turn. However, with the teaching of Christ,
Hamashiach.
Hamashiach, yeah, obviously we should also, you know, give blessings. You know, we have to give blessings. We have to pray for those also, because we don't want that to be repeated in the next, I don't know how many centuries it's gonna be. But
let's bring out these verses now. Come, let's go.
This is the book.
Brilliant.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 2 and verse 10. What nation have not had a part in her kingdom,
So what nation has not had a part in their kingdom?
and has gotten her spoil?
Exactly.
That's right.
So get Revelation chapter 18. Remember, brother mentions something quite beautiful, but we can't take away the fact that Revelations 13 and 9.
true.
Alright, you can't take away the fact of the revelations to come. That's not going to stop the Bible from coming out. It's not going to stop the revelations from working. It's not going to stop the prophecies to happen, Lord. Yeah, Esau shall be turned into stubble. Like, let's not, you can't hop over that verse and think.
Pray for them.
You can't.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
If you've got any ears, hear this, yeah? People that are watching the thing, man. Hey, listen to this.
He that leadeth into captivity
Alright, you can all hear this, yeah? The ones that led our people into captivity
shall go into captivity.
shall do what?
Shall
go
into
captivity.
Exactly.
He
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. He is the patience and the faith of the saints.
We are patient.
That's right.
We're not actually being warriors right now and slaying actually old and young.
We're not being carnal.
We're not being carnal, falling into sin.
Come
Alright?
on.
Our weapons of warfare are not like that. They're mighty to the pulling down of strongholds, here a little, there a little, crying out loud in the chief places of concourse, man. Alright? This is a spiritual war that we're in, man. Alright? We're trying to make our election sure.
That's
Like
right.
you see these men, they were protesting. Alright? They were camping. We're campaigning. This is the camp of Vine of Israel. We want a campaign that we get the seats, man. That we fulfill the scriptures. Give me that one in Exodus 21 and Exodus 21 and 16.
Gone.
Alright? He that stealeth a man, alright?
Gone.
He that stealeth a man, read
This
that,
is
bro.
the Exodus
21, 16. That's right.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 21 and verse 16. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death.
He shall what?
He shall surely be put to death.
And they stole our people. They stole the Native Americans. They stole the Latinos. They stole the Colombians. They stole the Israelites. Alright? They stole the so-called blacks. They stole us from our people, man.
That's right.
Alright? And they sold us. They sold us for wine. Alright? They done butt breaking on our men, on the men of Israel, man. Alright? They raped our men. They lynched our men.
That's right.
And we're not going to stop crying out for the abominations. We have not forgotten 12 years a slave. Goodbye, Uncle Tom. Roots.
That's
Man
right.
like Kunta Kente's and that. We have not forgotten Django. Birth of a Nation, Nat Turner's, Harriet Tubman's. Alright? George Floyd's. What's his name? Emmett Till's, Michael Brown's. Alright? What's his name? Mark Duggan's. We have not forgotten our people, man. Only
right.
you guys are walking around holding on to the enemy, man. Man like Jordan Walker Brown. Alright? My little brother, man. My little brother got tasered and disabled from the chest down, man. All right? They keep killing our people, and what happens to them? Not guilty. Give me that exact right.
That's right.
All right? They keep killing and murdering our people, man. But this is the people who Robin's word. Give me Isaiah 42 and 20 and 24. Isaiah 42, 22. Isaiah 42, 22. They keep doing it, and we're not gonna stand. We're not gonna stand up and just let it just run by.
This is the book of Zechariah chapter 11 and verse 5. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell the saying, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not.
And their own shepherds pity them not. Because our own prophets, our own so-called proclaimed pastors, all right, and preachers, they don't pity us, man. All right, you understand? They don't care about the ones that are the people that are put in prison houses. Read this, King.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 42 and verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
Because why? Because you've even got our own people like Michael Jordan's that fund prisons, man. All right? He actually owns prisons. He's in partnership and got shares and money investments in prisons, man. Our own people do this, man. That's a madness. Go on, Ricky.
They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses.
Our people, and 75% of them are so-called blacks, Native Americans, and the Latinos that are filling up the prisons, man.
They are for a prey, and none delivereth.
And no one will deliver our people except the Messiah, man. You think our own people's going to try and take out the people out of the prisons? Where'd you hear about break-ins, man? Trying to Shawshank redemptions, man, are trying to crawl out and help the white man crawl out of the prisons. You know what I mean?
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 11. In those days went out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying,
See, we're reading the book of Maccabees quite a bit for you, bro.
let us go and make covenant with the heathens.
So you see that? Our people have made covenants with the heathens, bro. Alright?
That are round about us.
And that covenant is the 501c3 charter. Alright? That chart, it shows them that they're tax exempt. Alright? So that they don't have to get their company or their business don't get taxed under their religion. Alright? Because they're religious, now they can just make as much money as they want, and they don't have to pay back taxes because they have made a covenant with the Gentiles, with the heathens, man.
That's right.
That are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have much sorrow.
For since they've departed from the heathens, they were getting put into turmoils. They were getting incarcerated if they didn't follow the Gentile Romans, man. Understand? Bring it up.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
Exactly.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
And that's what they do. They take crafty counsel against us. All right? They all gather together. They find out how they can put us lower, how they can rise up higher. And the only reason we are down low because they find out ways to keep us in sin. All right? Like putting pork in the sweeties, like putting pork in the cigarette butts, like telling them to shave Acts. Remember Acts 21, the first one we read? Telling them to shave their head to keep uncircumcised. All right? We read to the brother, what profit is there of being a Jew? Much in every way. You need to be a Jew. You need to be circumcised. Hold your first question. Remember your first question.
Yeah, alright, I remember my first question.
Yeah, first question.
So my first question was, I just wanted to know about marriage.
Alright, what's the second question?
And the second question is the Jew thing. You know, like, I've been to church, and when I hear the word Jew, in my mind I'm thinking we're talking about the Israelites, but
Yeah, I mean,
it's like they weren't
Alright,
Jews.
so look, alright, we'll break it down. Jew, alright, it means Judah. Alright? Jew means Judah. Jew means the southern kingdom of Israel at the time. Alright? There was a split between the two kingdoms.
But what was the original